All right, so for standard 8.1 meets, the questions that we're going to get at are asking you to use the multimeter to determine the voltage, current, or resistance of a simple circuit. So to do that, let's look first at the current. A couple of things need to be true if we're finding the current. The first thing that needs to be true is that it's an open circuit. The reason the circuit needs to be open is that the multimeter acts like it's closing it, right? So if the circuit is open, it allows the current to flow all the way through the circuit and then through the multimeter, and that's how you get a reading. The next thing is we need to measure it at the switch. And the last thing that needs to be true is that we want to set the multimeter to the reading of 200 milliamps, right? We're looking for direct, and so that's the symbol you're going to see over the milliamps. If we look then at finding the voltage, instead of measuring at a closed circuit, we're going to be measuring at an open circuit. Oops, I'm sorry. We're going to be measuring at a closed circuit, right? So we measured at an open circuit to find current. To find voltage, we're measuring at a closed circuit. At this time, we're going to measure across the battery. Measuring across the battery is going to give us the voltage of the battery. You know that you're doing it right if when you measure across the battery, say you're using a D battery, right, we know that those are 1.5 volts. If you're getting a reading pretty close to 1.5 volts, then you know you're doing it correct. If you get a negative reading, you've switched the red and the black prong around, and so a negative reading, all you want to do is just swap those to the other side of the battery. Another place that you can measure voltage is across a resistor. If you measure across a resistor, what you're getting is the voltage drop. So how much of that voltage is being used by that particular resistor. We can do it with resistors, we can do it with light bulbs, we can do it with a potentiometer, right? Any of those things that we're putting into our circuit, we can measure how much of the voltage that item is using. And the last thing that we want to keep in mind with measuring the voltage is that we want to set the voltage to 2 volts. Again, we're looking at direct, not alternating. Okay. And the other piece of this standard is that we can talk about the resistance of it, right? If you measure the current or you measure the voltage, in order to find the current, right, you would need to find both of these two things and then solve for the resistance, right? In order to find the resistance of an item, we want to make sure that we're measuring it outside of the circuit.